So we've been talking about spheroids and ellipsoids and geoids and how those things estimate the size and shape of the Earth when we're working in 3 dimensions, and I want to take a look at how that's represented inside ArcMap here. It's unfortunate that in places ArcMap will sort of conflate the way data is stored with the way that data is displayed. And so I want to make sure that we separate those out because conceptually they're very separate things. So I just started a new ArcMap project and I put in a shapefile of the countries of the world. What assumptions were made about the size and shape of the Earth when GIS data is collected is very important to think about and to consider, because if you don't think about that, it can have a major impact on the accuracy of your analysis. I'm going to go over here to my shapefile, right-click on it, and go down to Properties. And when I do that, under here, under the Source tab, I've got General over here and I've got Source, it does give me some basic information about what assumptions about the size and shape of the Earth were made when this data was created. And I can see that here under this term, Geographic Coordinate System. And you will see this says GCS WGS 1984. GCS is just the ArcMap abbreviation for Geographic Coordinate System. And WGS in this case stands for World Geodetic Survey, and this is the World Geodetic Survey of 1984. Of course, periodically, we update and revise our surveys of the planet and our estimations of its size and its shape in order to be able to get better coordinates. And this is why if somebody just says that some particular location, point A, is at 35 degrees north and 16 degrees east, that's not enough for you to be able to place that point because you don't know what assumptions about the size and shape of the Earth were being made when that measurement was taken. This is very important with GIS data. If somebody just gives you latitude and longitude coordinates, that's not enough. You need that other information about those assumptions of the size and shape of the Earth. So this is telling you that the points of latitude and longitude that are making up this file, that are all connected to make up the countries here, are all collected according to WGS 1984. This is a very popular system for GIS data and collecting data from across the world. In fact, the Global Positioning System uses WGS 1984 when it reports latitude and longitude to you. We could go into a lot of detail about understanding what the assumptions that WGS 84 is making, and we probably should. But for right now, it's enough to know that this particular GIS data file and all of its points and all of its geometry and all of its lines can be correctly positioned as long as we understand that it is in the context of all of the assumptions of WGS 1984. I want to show you another thing, and I'm going to go over to the layers, and I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to say Properties. And you'll notice there's a tab for Coordinate System. And I want to show you that there are 2 major folders that ArcGIS has: Geographic Coordinate System and Projected Coordinate System. And this is one of the places where ArcGIS gets terminology somewhat confused, and we start to get that conflation between the assumptions of the size and shape of the Earth and then how we would display data through a projection. And one of the reasons that we start to get this confusion is because ArcGIS calls both of these things coordinate systems. It says we've got a folder for Geographic Coordinate Systems and Projected Coordinate Systems. I want to continue to talk about what is in this folder of Geographic Coordinate Systems. If I go inside there, you'll notice that I've got all different places around the planet here, and then I do have World as well, and I'll just click down inside World, and you'll see that I've got WGS 1984 in there, as well as a whole bunch more. These are basically all of the different surveys, datums, geoids, ellipsoids, all of that ArcGIS understands for displaying data. So it's very good that ArcGIS understands the World Geodetic Survey of 1984 because I said so much data, including the GPS satellites, uses WGS 1984 to report its coordinates. But that is far from the only system that you might have. So we do have some other World Geodetic Surveys, 1972, 1966, and then we have some of these others as well that I don't really even know what all of these are over here, but you may end up with different GIS data that uses different sets of assumptions. And what's very important here is to make sure that these things match. And actually, ArcGIS doesn't really help you integrate all of this data in any kind of automatic way. You have to know what you're doing, because if you end up with different data sets that are using different sets of assumptions about the size and shape of the Earth, it will even try to overlay something, but in a completely not automated way, and you're going to want to be able to do these conversions. dimensions. But I also want to show you over here that we've got a bunch of different geographic locations like the Caribbean or Europe or the Indian Ocean. Let's take a look at what's inside Europe, for instance. We see like Estonia there. We see these systems here, like here's the Hungarian datum of 1972. We have all these different systems in here for specific locations on the planet. So WGS, the World Geodetic Survey, is a system for specifying latitude and longitude across the entire planet. So they've tried to come up with the size and shape of the Earth that is pretty good across the entire planet for giving latitude and longitude coordinates. But it is the case that in different situations, if you're not worried about mapping across the entire planet, maybe you are only worried about mapping in what we saw, Estonia there, or any of these individual places here, you may not care about trying to approximate the entire Earth well enough to give coordinates over it. And so I want to come up with a model for the size and shape, not of the entire Earth, but of the part of the Earth that I'm mapping, a particular country or so forth. And so what you may do is you may come up with a very sophisticated model for giving accurate latitude and longitude coordinates as long as you are within a certain area. So like we were looking at that Estonian system here. Maybe if you are working with GIS data or you are mapping in Estonia, you might want to use one of those if it is very accurate for that area. But you would never do something like report latitude and longitude for someplace in like Singapore, for instance, or someplace in India, using a set of assumptions that closely approximates the surface of the Earth in Estonia. So again, so what you may do, if you are working in some particular region, it may be a fantastic idea for you to not use some kind of worldwide system, but use a system that was designed for mapping your area, because that's going to provide you much more accurate coordinates within that area as long as you don't go outside of it and use it for something that it's not intended for. But also, ArcGIS does recognize all of these different systems, so if you do end up downloading data from someplace or getting data from someplace else, it could be in one of these regional systems, and ArcGIS will understand it, but it doesn't automatically convert. It'll understand it, but you need to do conversions. If you've got some data in this Luxembourg 1930, and you're also trying to integrate it with some European-wide data that's using a general European datum, you're going to have to convert those to one system or convert one of those to the other system in order to make sure that it aligns most accurately, because ArcGIS does not just do that for you. We say that it understands these, but that doesn't mean you can just throw a bunch of data that uses a whole bunch of different systems into a project and get them to correctly align, because actually they don't. You can start to get positional errors. And basically what I want you to understand is that this Geographic Coordinate System folder is all about the assumptions of the size and shape of the planet when you are collecting data. This folder, the Projected Coordinate System folder, is really what we would call projections in geography. This is about how you're going to display that data. And that's a very important distinction. This is about how you're going to hold that data. This is about how you're going to display that data in map form, in a two-dimensional form. So when you're talking about your GIS data layers, they should have coordinate information that comes out of this Geographic Coordinate Systems folder, because that's how you're going to know what set of assumptions was used when that data was collected. We will be able to pair that with a particular projection when we want to display it in map form.